to Learning with Liz. So it has been a short while since I have last done a video. I've had a nice Christmas break, well deserved, after the first official term of being a teacher trainee. And today I am back with things you need to prepare before you start teaching your lessons. What I mean by prep before your actual teaching is the stuff you need to do before the kids arrive into the classroom, things you already need to have sorted before you meet their beautiful faces. Now that I've done an official sort of term of being a teacher trainee, going to my new placement, I was sort of ready for things I needed to get sorted before I started teaching. So luckily we got 2 weeks of observations before we started sort of taking over the classroom teacher role. So this is basically a video to explain what I did in those 2 weeks to sort of prepare me for taking on the role as their new classroom teacher. First of all, I just want to explain to you the difference in my placement this time round. So originally I was at a school before that was in sort of leafy suburbs. However, obviously it's such a wide catchment area, the school I was at. My second placement is very different in terms of the location. It's quite far for me to drive, and that automatically affects my school day. So that's something to really take into consideration when I will be applying for jobs in the next coming months, because it does naturally affect your day if you're waking up at like 5:30 in the morning. The kids are quite different, still amazing, just very different. It's a different area, different needs and requirements, so I'm finding it so valuable doing the skit, just like any sort of teacher trainee course really, that you get to go to different places and have a see what different schools are like. I'll just start with my top 5 things you need to prepare before you take over that role as a classroom teacher for them. So number 1 that you need to have for each of your classes you're taking over is the student data. Okay, so the student data can come in different forms. It can be the levels that they're working at, so what the target grades that they're going to be hoping to achieve by the end of Key Stage 4, end of sort of GCSEs Year 11. It could be Key Stage 2 data, so what are their reading ages, what are their numeracy levels that they got from primary school. But also then there's things like SEND needs. So are there going to be any children in your classroom that have special educational needs or disabilities? Because obviously that will affect a range of things in terms of like your resources. So they have to be writing and reading from pink, blue, lilac, orange paper. Things like people premium kids, so you always need to sort of keep them close by, and then also EAL children, so students that have English as a second language. Things like that you need to know before you start taking over, and also planning your lessons too. So I've got a folder for all of the student data that is obviously confidential, so you have to keep that hidden away from anyone in the classroom. It's only for you really and other school teachers that are within the school premises, I guess, that have access to that data. But just something to hand where you can have like, for example, my Year 7s, I've got their target grades, I've got their special needs, I've got their educational requirements, what have you, and also the seating plan. So that's for each of my classes. I've got one of those that I have prepared before I've started taking over the classroom, which is really important to have. So number 2 that I would recommend you do is, if you're about to take over teaching them, ask around other teachers who have taught the kids before. What are they like? Who do they work well with? Who do they not work well with? Because that's going to be really important to feed into number 3, which is the seating plan. So back to number 2 though, make sure you have a little ask from other teachers that have taught them what they are like, because you might have SEND kids that are that could just blow up randomly, and you need to be able to know how to approach them by another professional as well. Number 3, obviously the seating plan. You can do this however you like. Each teacher does this differently. You can do boy, girl, you can do alphabetical, you can arrange them in their target grades, whether that be you pair up a higher grade student with a lower grade student so they can help each other out, or you pair, you sort of group the higher ability kids to the back and the lower ability kids to the front, so then you can have them as a priority. Some teachers don't even have a seating plan, they literally just line the kids up and be like, pick a partner, and then just sort of create one from there, but it's entirely up to you. Me personally, when I start taking over my classes properly in September, I will probably create a seating plan. Probably a boy girl one, just as standard. It could be alphabetical as well, because what's going to happen is that as soon as you start taking over classes, you're going to see who works well together and who are absolute poos and they just need to be moved. So that just alters and changes throughout the course of your lessons anyway. Number 4, make sure that you have, well, I'm just a nerd, okay, so not everyone has to do this, but I have my half term at a glance, okay, so I will show you some footage of what my folders are like, what my planner's like, but I've basically, I've got the full half term, what the each week has to be for each topic for the timeline against your subject department, and then I've also got post-it notes which just like week by week, what lessons am I doing, what are the themes, how many have I got, so then I can just tick it off, because teaching life is hard and you have to just embrace the little things like satisfyingly, that's not a word, but being satisfied with ticking off an accomplishment, whether that's I've planned one lesson, amazing, well done. So here we have my little sort of half term at a glance. You can see I've got my little lesson 1, lesson 2 for each week, for my years all written out. Then also a little bit different is my timetable for this new placement. It's on a 2-week sort of alternation. Which was a little bit different than my first placement, so very interesting to get used to. Finally, this is not an essential one again, but another one just so you don't, it depends on if you get easily embarrassed, but learn how to pronounce the kids' names before you take the register, okay? It can avoid a lot of giggling and a lot of confusion, because I've had some cheeky year 8s where it's like, no, it's Afi, Aofi, Afu, and I'm just like, just tell me how to pronounce the name. So maybe ask around again. You could link that with number 2, asking other teachers how on earth you pronounce names. Teaching's a wonderful job because you come across some amazing names in the world. That is my top 5 of how to prepare, or what to prepare before you start teaching within the classroom. So I hope you have enjoyed the video. Give a little comment if you've got other ones that you think got missed off in this, that a teacher needs to have before they actually start taking over in a classroom. And like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to my channel if you've not already. And I will try and keep those videos posting out. Obviously with a busy teacher life, it doesn't always get done as consistently as I would like. But there we go, we understand, we're empathetic. And I hope you have a wonderful week.